Now that we are professionals at expanding our logarithmic expressions, let's take a look at what happens when we want to go in reverse and write something that's already expanded back into a single logarithm. So again, we have to really pay attention to if things are being added or subtracted and whether things are in parentheses or not. So as I can see here, there are things being added, but this is all inside the parentheses. So I might be tempted to make a mistake there because of the plus, and plus tells me that they were multiplied, but because it's not a plus in between two log expressions, don't do it. This is saying you've got a division. So I've got log base 4, and again, this only works because they're both base 4. The numerator is all of this, 2x plus 7. My denominator, because of the minus in between, is not 3x. I have to remember that 3 log base 4 of x means first I have to put the exponent back where it belongs. So this is log base 4 of x cubed. That's what goes in my denominator. So it's exactly what we did before, but in reverse. So you have to do the steps in reverse, which means take care of that power property before you try to rewrite it as a single log. So this is what I would have, log base 4 of that single expression. Now this one, I'm looking at log of 2 plus 3 log xy. Again, think of this 3 as the exponent. So I've got log base 10 of 2 plus log of xy cubed. The plus tells me that these things were being multiplied, whereas before I knew it was division because there was a minus. So I'm just going in reverse. They're both log base 10, which is why I can do this. So I'm going to take 2 times xy cubed. Or if I really wanted to, I could write it as log 2x cubed y cubed, but really either one of those is just fine. Same thing's going to happen when you have natural log, and obviously I've given you a hot mess here. And so let's work through the hot mess together just to make sure we know what we're doing. I've got negative 2 times natural log of x minus negative 2 natural log of x squared plus 2/3 natural log of z cubed minus natural log of z. So all I did on that one is I just distributed the 2. And I'm going to go and ching that one because it's minus a negative. I'm going to rewrite this as natural log of x to the negative 2. I'm going to rewrite this as natural log of x to the, basically I'm going to take 2 times 2, so 4. I'm going to rewrite this, 2/3 times 3 is 2, so this is natural log of z to the 2. And then minus natural log of z. So now that I've simplified it, because I have to simplify first, then I can try to write it as a single logarithm. And the single logarithm will occur because I've got plus and plus. And so really what I have is the natural log, and I have x to the negative 2 on top, x to the 4 on top, z squared on top, and z on the bottom. Now obviously this is not reduced or simplified, and I could have taken care of it in this step, but it's easier to visualize in this step. These two guys right here are on the same level and can combine, and these two guys, let's use a different color, can reduce a little bit. And so what I'm going to end up with is the negative 2 and the 4 combined to 2, so I've got an x squared on the top. And then this is a 2 on the top and a 1 on the bottom, so there's 1 left on the top, there's nothing left on the bottom. So my final answer is the natural log of x squared z, written as a single logarithm. I've given you another question that's a bit of a bear just to see how you do on your own. Again, these are difficult, so don't be hard on yourself if you're struggling with this. We'll go through it in just a minute. Press pause, try this question, then press play to see how you did. So again, first thing I'm going to do before I try to write it as a single logarithm is to sort of simplify anything that I can. And really the only thing I got going here is this would be log of t to the 1/3 using that power property in reverse. This is log of t squared minus 9 minus log of t minus 3. So the fact that t squared minus 9 and t minus 3 are in parentheses tells me that I'm not going to worry about the minuses there and turn them into quotients or anything like that because they're inside the parentheses. I care about this because this tells me that this guy is going to be in the denominator. And I care about this because this tells me this guy is going to be, whoops, in the numerator, not NE and U. And so now let's stick it all together, and then we probably will have to simplify some more. So this is log, again, base 10. Numerator is t to the 1/3 as well as t squared minus 9. Denominator, because of the minus, is t minus 3. And then I notice that t squared minus 9 is easily factorable into t plus 3, t minus 3. And so I'm actually going to go ahead and simplify that because the t minus 3 on the bottom would cancel with this guy. So I'm going to have log of t to the 1/3 times t plus 3. And I'd probably leave it just like that. Put the parentheses around the whole thing so it's clear that the log is of that entire expression. I could distribute the t to the 1/3, but I don't think it would make it any clearer. So that's my final solution.